There are 7 spirits that we have to confront and get out of our land, or we're not going to have the promise. We're not going to have the promise. There'll be no promise for us. Jesus comes over to the, and I know you never heard the demoniac in this way, but Jesus comes over to the other side of the country of the Gadarenes, and there's this guy who's meeting him out there, and the question is, how did he get there? When Jesus sets him free, he turns to him and says, go back home to your friends and your family. So clearly he had friends. Clearly he had a family. Where are they? What happened that drove him away from where he was to a place called isolation, where now he is talking to dead folks, cutting himself with stone, at a place of total man, not dwelling in no house and ain't wearing no clothes? How did he get in that predicament? He got there through relationships. And relationships will make you or it will break you. And if you're not skilled in relationships, stay away from it. I don't want to be by myself. You'll do better by yourself than you will do, y'all hear what I'm saying, with a person that you haven't figured out. Because the greatest conflict in your life is not a man that you met yesterday. It's the man that you've been with all those years. The greatest conflict in your life is not a woman that you met at the mall. It's the woman that lived in your house with you. Because it takes time for the real you to show up. And nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to deal with it. Nobody wants to look at it. We want to preach. We want to prophesy. We want to sing. We want to shop. We want to travel. But we don't want to talk about my real issues. And the issues that we have started back at home with mama and daddy when you wasn't nowhere to be found. You were nowhere to be found. My rejection don't come from my wife and my kids. My rejection come from my daddy. And when my daddy rejected me, my wife was a little kid. Had no idea she would be paired up with me. But when she got to me, whatever spirit was in me was transferred to her. Demons. How long have you had this? How long has this thing been with you? How many times was it cast off of you, now to only jump back on you? How many times have you prayed to have a praying man in your life, someone that can hold your hands and pray in tongues and pray with you? And he promised you he was going to be that way. And every time crisis come, he coming in drunk. He's a drunkard. You have to hold it. If you're not ready to negotiate, because it's about politics. All sitting in here, I just want to get married. I know God got my Boaz for me. Bishop can say whatever you want. I mean, my Boaz. Some of y'all women need to stand up and tell these other women about that Boaz. You didn't hear me, did you? You need to tell these women about that Boaz. I didn't say ass, I said Boaz. That's what you need to tell them about. You need to tell them about the struggles and the problems that goes along with dealing with the situation, because it takes time for us to make up our mind. And when a man is going through, he can go through with a smile on his face. He can go through and have sex, watch the ball game, pay the bills, and be oppressed, and don't nobody in the house know. And when you say, what's wrong with you? Oh, nothing. I'm just a little tired. Oh, nothing. I'm stressed out. Oh, nothing. Never, ever tell you, because it takes time for us to process what is even happening with us. At the time it happens, we don't even know it happened to us until days late. Y'all in here, well, days go by before we figure out what's bothering us. If I get one IE in the house, I'll be happy. Days go by. My wife can ask me something today and I just pass it over, but 5 and 6 days later I say, you remember the other day when you asked me that? Because it takes time for me to process it. Time for me to process it. Time. Y'all ain't hear me. I said it take time for me to process it. But it don't take women time to process it because they always processing, just talking all the time. Make me sick. So we process what? Your retarded self, you talking out loud. And then gonna ask me where I'm going. Where are you going? I'm going, I'm trying to get away from this. And that's what makes it sick and makes it dysfunctional when you meet up with a man that runs his mouth all the time. Time you come in contact with a man that is running his mouth, always mad and upset and gossiping and talking, it's because they have a spirit of transfer. It is the spirit of homosexuality. And I ain't talking about who you laying up with, I'm talking about who you talking to. Because it's a process. Nobody opened up our eye docs. Nobody taught us how to cry. Nobody said it was okay to cry. Nobody. Nobody. Nobody said we can be vulnerable. Because the worst thing you can do to a man is trick him into being vulnerable with you. And he tell you what's bothering him. And then you run your behind across the hall and tell it to somebody. And then he find out that what he told you, you said it to someone else. But I gotta talk to somebody. And you do. But not to the person that you know don't like you. Not to the person that is jealous of you. You got me out here dwelling in the tombs. I'm feeling what I'm feeling, but I don't know what I'm feeling. I'm not a storehouse. I do, and I do good, I do wrong, I do up, I do down, I do in, I do out. I'm done. What was done to you when I was up? What was done to you when I was down? What was done to you when I was in? What was done to you when I was out? No excuse. But I forgot about that. I'm on another page, Luther. I'm in love, and I just want to be with my woman. I'm a bum. I've done some bum things. I'm not talking about me, I'm talking about you. I'm a bum. I've done some bum things. But I'm not made up in the posture where I could. Valentine's Day sales. Valentine's Day sales are larger than Christmas Day sales with men. Because guess what? They ain't spending no time. They walking in and they're going to buy the candy predicated upon what they did. If they did good, you might get a small box. If they did horrible, check out the box. Listen, when you've been good all year long, you've been good all year long,